So I'm Odile Abraham, the coordinator of Infrastar project. So for those who knows, I just make a small summary. So this project Infrastar is a Marie Curie ITM. So it means that we get money to train young researchers. So it's centered on around PhD students. So it's a project that started in 2016, so almost 5 years ago. And for this project, we got a little bit more than 2 million euros. So it's about innovating training network, and the following slide is really well known. Some of them must be bored to see the same slide. So it's a slide that was made by Hakim, who is the project manager and with that you know all because he's interacting with all of you. He has prepared everything. Thank you, Hakim. And this slide was made at the very beginning. So it's the center of the project. Here you've got all the PhD students. Some of them are already doctor. And you see the country where they have been working and doing their research in Denmark, Poland, Germany, Switzerland, France. They are coming from all over the world, and they are the center of this research project. It's a project around PhD students. So I have made a modification. Look, here appears some new logos that So we have 3 of them who are already doctor. Okay, here. 4 of them have submitted their PhD. Okay. So they will have their Viva pretty soon. And 2 of them have 1 more year to go because they decided to go for a PhD in Switzerland. And in Switzerland, it's 4 years. It's not 3 years as funded by the European Commission. And we have 3 others that have nothing written. So they are writing their PhD, and we hope they will submit their PhD pretty soon this year to complete the job. And I have another modification. Here is that 5 of them are already working. Here they've got a job, so they have finished in this project, let's say. They are going to submit to have their Viva, but they are already employed, and you will see here that they found job in the industry. Okay, so it means that in this project, the PhD students, they've been working very hard, doing a lot of communication in addition to their research, and they have a very high profile, and they are interesting for people working in the industry. Okay, apparently, I don't know what will decide the other, but today is the snapshot of today's project. So I've spoken about the researchers, etc. But what were they working about? Because there is a research topic that is the center of this project, and always the same slides. So thanks to them and to their supervisors and to the people like the end user advisory board members that help us to decide or to orientate the work, they have been working on optimal and reliable management of structures, focused on bridges and wind turbine, and focused on fatigue of concrete. This means that by focusing, we can improve knowledge because it has to be somehow a little bit focused to increase knowledge. During this project, we focused on 3 major challenges. So to develop new relevant auscultation and monitoring systems, so structural F monitoring system are on the mood, and we are working on this. To reduce and optimize the safety margin encountered in the wind and bridge design in the assessment of the remaining strengths. So it's improvement about better understanding concrete properties, structure properties, action on the structures, and also to optimize design and life cycle costs. So I guess this will be still relevant in Horizon Europe as well. So how was the project structured? So we have 3 scientific work packages. Here you've got the work packages leader, Ernst Niederlottiger from BAM, Eugène Bruviller from EPFL, and John Sorensen from Aalborg University. So they have been managing their work packages to the first challenge, monitoring and auscultation, structural and action model for the second challenge, and reliability approaches for decision making for the third challenges. So you will see them a lot today. They will participate to panel discussion and interact with you. So I like to thank them today because it's the last time I see them for their work. They have been doing a great job during those 3 years and a half. And thank you again. We had a work package dedicated to recruitment and training policy because it's important here. We want to hire bright students and to train them. And also a work package dedicated to management, dissemination, outreach, and business opportunities. So I will not go in details in the network. I don't know if it's a wide network or not, but I found it quite manageable. We have only 8 beneficiaries, 4 academic institutions and 4 industries. And each academic institution had 2 PhDs, and each industry beneficiaries had 1 PhD. And we have 3 partner organizations who have been interacting with us and hosting events, giving lectures, providing structure or data sets. And we have an advisory board also providing input for our for the whole project. So just a word to say that, of course, when you are doing a PhD, you are supposed to bring your personal contribution to knowledge. So that's classical for all the PhDs. But here, as we are in an ITN project, the idea is to benefit from a multidisciplinary background and to amplify contribution of each PhD by connection with others. And also to broaden their scientific and expertise, scientific knowledge and expertise. And to do that, in this project, we thought at the beginning, when we set the proposal, to have a shared object. So what are the shared objects? And you will see in the posters that they have been using those shared objects together. It can be bridges or a wind turbine or simply data sets. Some sensors have been installed in real structures, but some of them, the sensors were already there and data sets have been taken. And it can be as well lab share objects in concrete from the meter to several meters in size with a lot of sensors in it and specific loadings. So at the end of the day, during this project, so again, the same slide as usual. So right from the beginning, we have here year 1, year 2, year 3. So we are there at the end of year 4. And you can see that thanks to Hakim, we follow the timeline very precisely. So we are supposed to have a final workshop, and we are here today. You have here each of our early stage researchers. Some of them have already submitted and their PhD, and some others are already doctors. And we had second month, 3 training weeks, 3 implementation day, 1 winter school that was open to everyone, and this final workshop in Brussels. So Hakim tried to make a summary of all what was done. It's not all, but it gives you an idea. We had almost 70 months of second month. It's when the PhD go to another institution for 3 or 6 months. Common trainings, 18 journal papers. Obviously, some other papers are still under review, but here it's published paper, 45 conference paper, and they have been traveling a lot in 17 countries. And what specificity of ITN is also to improve their communication skills. And for instance, they all have our 12 ESR a blog, and with a regular post, many views. Hakim is maintaining social networks, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And we had a lot of meeting, around 100 meeting. And for each meeting, we have minutes, and it's very well managed. And we also had 1 wedding, 1 baby. I think that there is some other baby to come, but okay. So some of the ESR, all of them have been very busy during those 3 years, and they are going to carry on with this level of involvement. And it continues because in the proposal we said that we wanted to make to have a training school that will still exist after the project. So this training school is going to take place this year again in Nantes, France. So I invite you to have a look at it, and I think that you can still join for this training school. It's still open. The fees are very low. It's 150 euros for 3 days with people coming from all Europe for teaching, and you have good food for this money in addition to the training. So it will be in April, and so now it's time to start with the rest of the day.